AI lets you create images that look realer than ever before. But will they make the cut when it comes to your conversion rate? Every couple of months, AI ups its image generation game, which then triggers a flood of content saying how you can just fire everybody and make everything with your trusty AI. So let's separate fact from fiction and figure out whether you should use AI generated images for your Amazon listing, or if there's still value in investing in real high quality photography. Now, there are many ways to integrate AI into your image creation and design strategy, and many situations that may warrant different strategies and approaches. So let's get some clarity on that to evaluate if, when, and how you should use AI images for your Amazon listings. Plus, I'll be sharing one massive game changer that every business should explore taking advantage of. So when you are evaluating whether to use AI images, there are 3 points to consider. 1, AI images have come a long way, but they're still not realistic. There's something that's always a little bit off. It could be ever so slight, maybe the way that someone is biting that protein bar or the expression on their face. It's always just nearly there, but something not quite, that from a distance is fine, but up close feels somehow off-putting. Nothing that you would notice at a quick glance, but if you look at it closely, might not pass the test. AI images can also look professionally good, but they're not going to take away the importance of really having a clear branding and imagery strategy that's going to fully express and bring your brand to life. So if you are relying on more run-of-the-mill prompting, it's going to be hard to get that level of imagery that you might need in order to truly go head-to-head with the top brands that are in your space, brands that have really invested in understanding who their target customers are, who they are as a brand, and how to use imagery as a way to really be able to bring all of that to life. The third point is along those same lines, where AI images can technically look good, but have a very similar aesthetic to many of the other images that you're going to see. So they make it much more difficult to truly stand out, create contrast, and establish that strategic positioning that is necessary anywhere you're selling your products, but even more so in a flooded marketplace like Amazon. So if you are having images that look nearly identical to your competitors, then it's going to be much harder to give customers a reason why they should choose you over the other options that are out there. It's also important to remember that your images do some incredibly heavy lifting, not only on your product pages, but also across the internet. And that's because AI search assistants like Perplexity and ChatGPT and Google are all pulling product images from your product pages. And it's not only that. When you are showing up in these search results, if you are so lucky to be recommended by one of these AI search assistants, the downside is that oftentimes all of that hard work that you've invested into your product pages and into your branding, it gets completely thrown away by the AI summaries, except when it comes to your product images, because the AI is pulling your product images directly from whatever product pages it is referencing. And so if you have really strong imagery, really great, compelling infographics, then you have the ability to not only preserve that brand voice and identity or communicate the important points that customers need to know in order to make an informed decision, but this also allows you to just visually be able to stand out, communicate that you care about quality, that you're invested in really presenting your brand and your product to its fullest potential. And all of those little supplemental messages really have an impact when it comes to helping a customer decide between maybe a product that the images are just so-so, or there are some very generic AI generated images, versus some images that are full of life, that really communicate who your brand is, and that are showing your product in the very best possible light. So should you use AI to generate your Amazon product images and A+ content? As always, unfortunately, it's a big it depends. Luckily, the cost of time and money is low to test it out and to explore whether it is a good fit for you. The answer is yes if your budget is very low. Maybe if you need to create some really quick images for a specific season, or you are short on time and just need to get something out there. Also, if you are previously relying upon poorly photoshopped stock images, AI generated images are likely going to be a massive improvement. Also, if you have a huge catalog with many different variations, then AI generated images are going to be a great solution for you, not only just because of the heavy lift of truly creating custom images for every single variation, but also just because of the complexity of managing the creative for a huge catalog. This could be a real time and, of course, money saver as well. Now, the sometimes maybe not at all category is if you are truly building a brand, if you are wanting to create that strong customer base that is going to love your products, and if you are competing in a super highly competitive environment, then AI generated images are simply not going to be able to compete the way you probably need them to. And if that's you, then it's really worth thinking deeply about whether a little bit of savings of time or budget is worth it in the long run. Because ultimately, all of these assets, these are investments that you are making that could really pay off substantially if you do all of it well. Are some generic bland AI images going to create that fandom and that brand aesthetic and identity that is going to make customers so excited to scream your name from the rooftops and create UGC and do all the things that you need to really build a brand that has that traction? If you really want to give your brand the best shot at converting customers, then unfortunately, at this moment in time, AI generated images just aren't going to cut it. They're good for if you're in a pinch or if your budget is low, but if you have the time, which you should, to really invest in the strategy, to really get clear about who it is that you're selling to, who you want to be as a brand, and how you're going to differentiate yourself from your competitors, then your brand imagery becomes one of your most valuable assets that you really want to make sure you are bringing it to its full potential. If you are looking to take your product images to the next level, please let me know. You can reach out to us on our website or even fill out a free listing analysis, and we would be happy to connect you with some great product image experts that can not only take your images to the next level, but your A+ content and your brand story so that you put your best foot forward. Now, there is another layer of nuance to this, and that is 3D renders. And that's why in the next video, I'm going to be testing out an SOP for how to create 3D renders with AI. It could save a ton of time and money if this turns out well. If that video is already live, then I'll go ahead and link it here. If not, then I highly suggest you watch whatever YouTube is recommending to you, and be sure to subscribe so that you don't miss it when it goes live, because I will be walking you through a really cool process to create 3D renders that could be a huge advantage for you as you grow your e-commerce business moving forward. So stay tuned. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.